The mainstream media is citing the president's approval rating after the latest polls are released. Meanwhile, President Trump continues to use his social media and that platform to call out what he feels are unfair attacks against him once these polls are released. One America's Stephanie Myers explains how these firms behind these polls may already have an objective to discredit the president.
The reliability of political polls became a hot-button topic following the 2016 presidential election after a majority of the firms failed to correctly predict who will be elected. Still, those same polling firms are trying to make their surveys look legitimate when they release their findings, but the data shows a large amount of bias. An ABC News Washington Post poll released mid-July shows just 36% of Americans approve President Trump's job performance. But a deeper look into the firm's collection sample shows a concerning amount of bias in an effort to taint the president's accomplishments. To start, 35% of respondents identified themselves as Democrats, compared to just 23% of participants identifying themselves as Republicans. In addition, the poll surveyed 1,001 people, an average of 20 people per state in the U.S., as a quote-unquote representation of the U.S. population's thoughts on the president. The survey's methodology shows the firm, Abt Associates, conducted the study using random digit dialing. There are numerous problems with that method, which include missed calls, hang-ups, and the increasing use of cell phone-only households. In turn, any data collected and analyzed from the reliability is low and induces a bias, a problem that has been pointed out in the past by the late journalist and author Christopher Hitchens.
I think that the reporting of poll data as if it was news, newspapers, when they can't be bothered to research anything or do any work, commission an opinion poll and then report its findings as if it was front-page news already by itself. That's bad. And it leads to crummy expressions like approval rating. Why do we allow a word like approval rating to circulate?
It's noteworthy to mention the firm, along with many other pollsters, incorrectly predicted who will win the 2016 presidential election, a gaffe President Trump highlighted in a tweet. An even more eye-opening concern is Abt Associates board members include former Presidents Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, Planned Parenthood, World Bank, and Deloitte staffers. Other pollsters have since come out and have spoken on the record, urging Americans to be skeptical of what the mainstream media reports about polls. One American News reached out to the president and founder of Technometrica Market Intelligence, Raghuvan Mayur, who noted how the media is an extension of the Democratic Party.
The media is always in denial about the fact that they have a Democratic bias. Okay, it's like an alcoholic refusing to believe that he has an alcohol problem.
All these points only highlight then-candidate Trump's comments about how the polling system is rigged.
When the polls are even, when they leave them alone and do them properly, I'm leading. But you see these polls where they're polling Democrats. How's Trump doing? Oh, he's down. They're polling Democrats. The system is corrupt, and it's rigged, and it's broken, and we're going to change it.
Studies from the Pew Research Center and American Association for Public Opinion Research show certain polling techniques are not as reliable as they once were, especially given the increase in cell phone-only households, which are more likely to be young adults who identify with the Democratic Party. The evidence gives more Americans an insight into how some firms slant their polls to favor a certain outcome, and those surveys should just be taken with a grain of salt. Stephanie Myers, One America News.